Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool. I thought I'd go over what I consider kind of more of a vintage overlanding kit. Now the reason I'm doing this is some comments came in when I did that small dead blow hammer video about this tool and many of my other tools that look brand new. And one of the reasons that they look brand new is because they're brand new. What I'm doing is upgrading pretty much everything to as good a quality as I can get, plus exploring a lot of other tools. I started doing that a while ago and thought I would start a YouTube channel, so that's how we got here today. So some of these, yeah, they're great tools. I love this hammer. Have I used it for anything significant? No. Why? Because nothing's required it. This I consider an overlanding hammer, but some of the comments made me think, well, I guess I should go back in time to create a video here, and create a video where I can talk about a few of these things, how I got to where I am, and then I can point people at that video when they make certain comments, kind of like I do with my watch. You know, everyone's asking, what is it, or you know, other questions about it, so I can just send them a video link. But anyway, what I did is I dug around through the homestead trying to figure out where a lot of my older tools were that I used to carry in what I would today call an overlanding kit, but back then overlanding to me was a Jeep in the Saharan desert or something. I guess we called it car camping, truck camping, or just, you know, camping. We just go out, and I always had a tool set, but here's what was going on back then. This was pretty much it. So yeah, here is the hammer. You want to see my used hammer? Here it is. This is my new one. I'm happy with this one. This is what I used to have. Now this is more almost an antique now, and my old, this one here, always keep this close. I was in high school when I bought this thing, and I just always took good care of it. Now it just hangs on a wall because I've got good memories with it. So yeah, I've got all kinds of brand new claw hammers, but most of the older tools I've kind of retired. Actually, I give a lot of them away, or I build tool kits that go in different places. So let's talk about this thing, this setup here. This is actually a part of these, most of these were actually in a vehicle tool kit. A couple others, like the can opener, I just grabbed a few things just to show you what things look like. But this was the core, plus occasionally a few wrenches, and these were about the size of the wrenches. This one here I noticed is an old, look at that, 11/16, 9/32 from Bark Hollow, Buffalo. I don't know, somebody might know. But anyway, I would just have various wrenches. I switched to metric. I had some old Craftsman sockets. They're just like on rails. I mean, I can go dig up representatives. You know, it might be like these guys here or something, but I don't know if I've got the original sockets anymore. And an old Craftsman ratchets. But the rest of this is pretty original. So here's the hammer. Well, what did I have? Here was my vice grips. You know, Craftsman tongue and groove, but you always had big stuff for bending metal and grabbing stuff. A set of crescent wrenches. You know, this one's a real one, so I can say that. Here's a proto. But anyway, that was like the go-to. That was the one tool that did almost everything, including becoming a hammer. Always had vice grips. Here's an old Craftsman. You know, I'm using the old names. But occasionally you'd use these, you know, to like clamp stuff to hold it on, you know, to get you home, whatever it was, or things were rattling around, you'd use those. Or, you know, we didn't have hose clamp pliers. I didn't have, you know, battery-powered tools. I didn't have a portable inflator. You know, it's just I didn't carry hex wrenches, Torx wrenches. Actually, I did have some hex wrenches. They're right here. Usually in one of these tool kits, I've got some punches and a couple of chisels in here. That was stuff that I did use. This one, love it. Just a good solid tool for using, or for doing all kinds of, you know, work, whatever it is, or a pry bar. If you needed a good pry bar, you know, here you go. That was it. Right there. screwdrivers. I couldn't find my Craftsman. I mean, you always had that big set of Craftsman. You know, it had all kinds of different sizes. I couldn't find my original Phillips. Honestly, it's probably in a car kit, believe it or not. And we always carried the old stubbies around, even though we rarely used them. But they came in the kit, so apparently somebody thought it was important. Flashlight. Ooh, check that out. This was my high-end flashlight. Here it is. It is a mini mag light LED. So I got this one when they first came out. I can get it, I guess. This one here was one of my other LED, or one of my other mag lights. This one's got the little halogen bulb in it. You could switch, but this thing's all corroded up. But yeah, these were great. Yeah, look at that mess in there. And there was an extra bulb in here, you know, kind of tapped into your prepping gene to be ready for things. Always had plenty of electrical tape. Used this to fix everything, you know, a leak in the radiator hose, or obviously any electrical stuff. Anything, actually. And it was generally a no-name, and it didn't work very well after a few seasons of getting super hot and super cold. But anyway, here's my flashlight. That was the high-end one. It took 3 AA batteries, but unbelievably bright for its time and small and compact. Retired my large mag light, the big double, or the 2D size one. These are my strippers right there. I got these in a kit. Look at that. See that? Sears. Came in a plastic kit with a whole bunch of stuff. Look at how smooth these are. Made in Taiwan. They still mostly work, although I don't know if you could cut cheese with with these things, but they went everywhere. Did everything I needed them to do, which generally wasn't much. Wow, check out those. Those are my pliers. Just wonderful. Great pliers. They could cut some things and grab a few more. Silky smooth. Look at that. I don't know if there's any kind of a brand on these. But it was just an excellent handy plier, which is why, you know, I've got an affinity, you know, when it comes to pliers like this Knipex or something. You know, it's just a great size, and it's one that I have, you know, I grew up with. I carried everywhere. This was it. There wasn't a choice. Sometimes, you know, obviously I've got one of everything, and then once I get that, I start getting 5 of everything. What I've got here, that was the one tool. That was it. Hammer, pliers, cutter, you know, sort of. Not bad, huh? Back in the day, almost. Here was the needle nose. Look at those, Cal tools. And those I have bent back into shape after bending them out. Made in Japan. Look at that, old school. Silky smooth. I have to, you know, stretch them out a little further. But look at that. I mean, that's what I got used to. Old tools that worked. I mean, tools that got old and worked. Here was the big fancy knife. You always had one of these Stanleys. That was your utility knife. Oh, writing instrument was a pencil, and that's how you sharpened it, of course, was with the knife. So this is what we used to carry. You know, I'd have a bike pump, you know, if there's a big journey, a bike pump and some old Fix-A-Flat or something. I don't know. This is Puncture Seal by, I don't know, is that it? Soldier Seal. Look at that. Anyone recognize that car? Looks like a Mustang. So yeah, just old stuff. Is there a price on it? I haven't even looked at this stuff in forever. It looks like the regular price was like $1.19 or something. I don't know if it's even safe. I just dug it out of the garage. You got stuff like this all over. But anyway, so this is what I used to use. This is what I used to carry. This was it. So when I started building out my my new stuff, you know, upgrading each and every individual part, and then I'd get you know, say a snap-on one, and then I'd get a couple more, and then I'd start refining it. I decided to just share that on the YouTube channel. That's what I do. I obviously, as a DIYer, I'm never going to wear out most of these tools, and in fact, some of them I might just try just to see, and then, you know, they go in a kit, and then they stay in that kit. Oh, I shouldn't. Some of you will remember these. You had to have one of these in your car. No, it wasn't because you always needed a bottle opener, although that did help. But if you wanted to put oil in your car, there you go. And if you don't understand, you're too young. Anyway, so here it is. This is a vintage overlanding kit. You know, it would be fun to keep, but just the performance is not here with a lot of these tools, and there's so many more refined things, so many more technical stuff. We didn't carry micro screwdrivers. We didn't worry about, you know, jump packs and things like that because they didn't exist. But this got us through. So here's our chisel and our pry bar and our screwdriver and, you know, a long-handed hammer or a second hammer, you know, and that did it right there. Plus, I guess you could burn the handle if you needed to stay warm. You know, and if just a couple of wrenches because there were just a couple of fasteners. Anyway, throw in your comments if you get this, if you were there too. You know, there might have been some other stuff that you had, but pretty much when I was thinking about it, this was about it. No fancy picks, you know, no battery-powered tools, no, you know, fancy handles on stuff. This was about as fancy as it got, or wood. I mean, look at that. That's it. I guess this, here you go. There it is with those old plastic, big old plastic handles. But I just have gotten into the nuances of the tools, and I really enjoy it. And I know there are a lot of other people who do as well, but if you're wondering where this new stuff came from, well, it came from updating all of this stuff. So I do like my my new snap-on hammer, and I'll probably use it as soon as something requires using it. But so far, you know, the cars are a lot more reliable in many ways, and got them more or better maintained. I'm not, you know, trying to squeeze out, you know, some performance level that they just weren't made for. So stuff doesn't break down for me as much. But there are all kinds of little nuances, so maybe I'll go out and dent this up and get it dirty and bring it back on the channel. And with that, Doc out.